Welcome back to the Crypto Rainn channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph. Now, the market has been a little bit slow. In September, it gets a little bit boring, and that's okay because boring is fantastic. Number one, boring gives us a chance to make more informed decisions. Boring allows us to evaluate what is out there because when everything's pumping, it's hard to make good decisions. It's hard to know if it's about ready to retrace from there. So I like to make smart decisions. Well, during this little bit of boring time, I have a very non-boring guest today. Very energetic. He's doing something big and bold. Him and his project are introducing a new social media project, essentially, and they're going to be competing with the big boys out there. And you've probably heard about them. I know most of my subscribers are familiar with them. We've talked about them a lot on this channel. But I've had a lot of requests to have the CEO come speak to us, and he was able to today. So I want to welcome him over. Let me bring him on. Manny, are you there?
I am right here, my man. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. A lot of my subscribers in the channel have been requesting that I see if I could have you come join us.
It's a true pleasure to be here with you and all your community, enjoying, as always, drinking a little bit of coffee and talking crypto, talking what can be done with when you have decentralized technologies playing for the little guy.
Yeah, one of the things I love is you've got your own YouTube channel so that people can watch. I love it. Charles Hoskinson does this. Many of the greats, best transparency, right? When people are able to tune in. In fact, if it's okay with you, I'll put a link to your channel below the video so anybody who's watching this video can go there. Because how often do you do videos? I've seen some of them.
Basically, what we do, it's quite a massive project what we're building here at Omni. We have been building for quite a while, so we try to do once a week right now, which is Coffee with Manny every Saturday night. But with things getting more and more busy and whatnot, it's gonna morph little by little into a once a month type of AMA with the CEO. Nonetheless, the channel will continue to have weekly updates or more feature centric content, more produced, if you will, but not necessarily with me behind the wheel all the time, if you know what I'm saying. So
Yep.
but every Saturday night 7 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm always messed up with the time zones. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, fantastic. So, great. For those that aren't familiar with Omni, would you mind giving the audience that hasn't, I guess, heard of Omni before a little bit of detail on what Omni is doing?
In a nutshell, we are an all-in-one social media platform. What we are taking is all the features that make people either move over from one social media to the other. It's usually everyone had that unique feature like Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and all of these, and how we can get the best features of all and create one experience, right? Because when you look what some of the things that IG is doing is like when Snapchat didn't sell to Facebook, right? So what they do, they took the stories, just plug it in, trying to eat to that market, just doing concentration of power, right? So what we're trying to do is how we can, if we were to build everything from the ground up, right? How does that solution, right, looks like? And that's what we are building, a social media platform that is geared towards to empower the individual. That's why it's in our name, in our tagline, people driven. And we want to create something that looks, feels, and behaves just like the top-notch social media apps, but that is people-driven, that is transferring that economic bandwidth and power back to the individual, but done with the right way, in a way that it needs to have all the bells and whistles, if you know what I mean, that you get in social media. People talk and complain about maybe the power concentration of some of these big platforms, but we complain in their platforms. We never even dare to live. We cannot live without social media, right? It's because there's not a true, like I always say, there's not a true alternative. And
Yes.
And if nobody builds that true alternative, or not even there to build because it sits at the giant and something, but they already, don't worry, let's build it. Because here I see, being in the crypto space for so long, I'm a person, that personally coming, I've been developing technology in the marketing world initially since 2010. But in 2013, when I missed the first Bitcoin bubble, if you will, I got into Bitcoin mining through 2014 to 2019. Actually, is when I unplugged. I had my last hash, but at the end of the day, it forced me to learn the technology, which I think it was very important. Going up and understand what is the promise. The promise is not a cryptocurrency. People, love the crypto and the coins. We all love all the coins, right? But that is the incentive, the utility, the reward that each ecosystem has is the blockchain technology, the decentralized, the smart contracts, and the technologies acting on top of this layer. What is here are here to deliver on a promise to humanity. When you think about it, right? And that's where the true vision for us here at Omni is how we can use what is something like social media that people cannot live without nowadays, right? To bring these technologies to the masses. But we at the core is what we're trying to do is build a product that doesn't have anything to envy to the top dogs. Let's put it that way.
I like it. I like it. I was going to ask, why a social media project? I mean, don't the big boys have that so well taken care of? And you kind of answered that. But
exactly, and that's you're going right. Why a social media what is the problem? Power concentration. Look at what, honestly, Facebook. What have they have been doing? MySpace was doing quite good. They took the candy from MySpace. That's how they came into the market. For those of us that remember who had a MySpace, right? All enough to have a MySpace, right? They took the candy, power concentration. Power moved into Facebook. Then they come in and they buy Instagram. They tried to buy, when people started to move to Snapchat, they tried to buy them. They couldn't do it. Then they cloned the exact feature people fell in love with Snapchat and put it here. People went right back to Instagram, right? Because it's all about concentration of power. And then there are a couple other companies, Amazon and Google and all these things, and AI is at the top of everything here, which I tell people is at the core of what we do. You see other type solutions, other people in the market, social media, but it's like a shelf. They, many of them don't have an app. None of them have artificial intelligence. And I'm like, how are you going to compete with Facebook and Instagram if you don't have at least basic artificial intelligence feeding your feed? Nonetheless, having something that can compete with TikTok, that can compete with Instagram Reels and the feed and all that good stuff, right? So we have been building all those foundations all the way through the pandemic, right? Because it's not about coming with a product that can be built on Amazon, right? It's coming out with a product that is built by us, completely designed. And I invite people to go to our website. In the paper section, we have a technical paper that is focused all about how the engine is built on the back, how the app, right, is built on the back. And that is what matters here, because it's about having something that cannot be taken down by nobody, right? Nobody can come and say, this piece belongs to us. So we saw that happen with others, right? Without mentioning names. So the idea here is building something that is people-driven, but can deliver the true experience that people expect. If you want people to change, you need to deliver that same level of experience, right?
yes, because what's funny is I asked that question, but long in my mind has been the fact that they're overusing the privileges granted to them. These are the social media giants. And that at first they said, please come onto our platform. We're going to make your life so amazing. We're going to help you connect. now that they have the power, because imagine there's three people in this world that decide for some reason they don't like what you have to say, and that's Jack Dorsey and Facebook and Google. They essentially can shut you down.
And
they
they
can
do.
silence your ability to talk, and they do exactly.
It's not about the possibility. That's the problem, because if it's an if, we can debate and argue all day. We can point, with all the craziness that happens about, the fact checking and we can all agree that there's some level of moderation that is needed because, and I always go to the streams, somebody pulling a dog and killing it in front of a camera. We can all agree we don't want to see that. And we have, of course, and we think about this, and we have actually algorithms in place to battle off that and be ready for all of that. So that is the level that we think about this project, that, the problem here is the power concentration, because now what they have done, they're taking your data. They have the product that they created is awesome. That's why we don't leave their platform. Let's keep it real. We love their products and they're free. But the way they're milking your data and taking control, that's why we tell people that creators are being taken to the cleaners. And what we do is having a platform that is creator-centric, in which the creator has full ownership of everything that they do. If you go to YouTube right now, or you go to any other platform, Facebook, whatever, and you post, that post belongs to them. You can say you're the creator, you get, they'll throw some crumbs at you, you know how that goes. But they
are crumbs that they pay you.
They own all the rights in perpetuity. You can even delete it. It's still there. Go try delete your Facebook account. Good luck. You know how that goes. So it's all there. That's the deal. It belongs to them here at the core. And that's why we, in all our research, and that's what the decentralized part, technology comes at the core. No. And that's what NFT technology is here to truly, people say JPEGs and PNGs. People need to understand the true revolution behind all of this, because it's the functionalities that you can add to some of these NFTs, where and all the sky is the limit, really, when you think about it. For example, every post that you make here is an NFT, and now since you own that NFT, as the platform, I'm required to pay you royalties. Our play to earn model, it's strong and has much more mass appeal than, and mark my words here, than any old project that you see in the marketplace right now. Pick the name. I don't care the name, because everybody's in the gaming bubble, which is amazing, and I love it because, we all love games, right? But and it's huge, right? But can people right now live without a metaverse, which is right? There's right now a big rush, several metaverse coming out. Yes, people can live without a metaverse. Can people live without a social media? And
not to the same level, right?
Not to the same level. There's some people, there's always factions, right? But then that's why we are, we have a product here that already broke the ceiling of true critical mass. And now we can become the door to, because how are you going to access the games and the metaverses? How do you do? How you find out about? How do you discover them?
Social media. Yep.
Boom. You see the vision.
Yeah, and becoming the gateway to all of that, right? Because as content creators, we're trying to create something of education or something of entertainment value.
And all the merch or the NFTs, all the in-game assets and all the assets that we create, because we also have digital assets and augmented reality assets with the filters and whatnot that have already been teasing in social media and whatnot. So, and then, imagine doing relationships in which our digital assets work in there. If you buy, if you buy a digital asset for a major brand, just to take a name, like Ray-Ban for glasses, right? Sunglasses. And you buy those, right? And when you buy them, you get the digital version, and you get the physical version. Now that digital version, you can take it to any metaverse because you bought it, right? And you're gonna be hanging out on your digital motorcycle or whatever it is that you have with your Ravens, right? That's what we bring to the table. And we bring full product testing for brands, especially the accessory industry, right? Because we cannot do it with clothes, but with makeup, accessories, all of that, you can test it at your home. You don't have to go to any brick and mortar store to test any accessories. You can test it in augmented reality and buy it right from the app and from the verified store, which is big. So that's some of the things that we're building in the back here at Omni. It's been crazy, man.
Love it, love it. I especially like to hear that because I bought a crap load of Omni tokens. So obviously, I'm personally invested in your success because I believe in your team. I had the good fortune to meet some of your team like 2 months back. Patrix was on a call with Maven Capital that they invited me to join them for, and he was hilarious. Very funny, very sharp, very smart. Could you tell the audience more about your team? Because when I saw him, I thought, wow, here's a high level guy. I did happen to catch some of your YouTube videos, so I was like, okay, I'm really getting a feel for this team. I like this team.
Yes, we have been working very hard on building what we consider to be the dream team. We just fill two positions that we have yet to announce that will shock waves. But Patrick has been an amazing addition for us. He's coming as our CBDO, Chief Business Development Officer, and he's been delivering from day one on great things for us here at Omni. Not only that, we have here advisors through OGs like Jeremy Wagner, which he owns the Bitcoin Castle, right? And all that good stuff. He's been in the space for actually I think he launched when he did his first ICO. I think it was the first utility coin that came to the market. It's really good to have him over, and he's doing a lot of great stuff. People will not see him. People will see the result of what he does, and that's the thing that people sometimes don't see. What people talk about VC sometimes in crypto with a little love and hate type relationship, but the problem sometimes for VC is that people don't see the VC himself. He sees sometimes people what see is the result of the work, right? That what they do for the project, which can be several things based on each project's need, but that's a different topic. At the end of the day, we have the product owner, which our COO Luciano. He has worked for Disney. Our UI UX team, they are the girls that build the Itaú app, which is the biggest bank in Brazil. And I gotta tell you, I have seen several apps in my life, but that banking app is the most user-friendly app in the world. And people can research about Itaú and the bank, and it's great. And that's the type of team that we have here. Our email guy is a machine learning certified on Harvard. We have our CTO. He is an expert on building true scalable solutions. And when I mean true scalable, I mean if you want to have an app that the whole world can truly use, like let's say true mass adoption, right? That's the type of you need to build the full architecture. That's why I invite people to go look at the technical paper, because we display there exactly how we're building. That's the technology and the infrastructure we're building just to host the app. Is a true asset that we have here, and that is huge. And that's something that I am proud that I saw some of the stuff that he's do with Microsoft Orleans, which is a technology most developers cannot work, because you have to pretty much change the way you think about programming. Some of the people will consider to be basic, because you need to think everything on true micro or nano transactions when you talk about how you build the infrastructure and how things talk to each other in the back. And this guy built for me in the marketing world something that was capable to deliver millions of transactions per second, right, on Microsoft Orleans. And I was like, you can deliver something that can be adopted, right? And we love to tap into open source technology, because we believe in a world in where everybody's collaborating, right? So there's a lot of fun, and that's just two of the guys. And if you guys go to the website, there's the people driven section, in the people-driven section, we have a full list of, because we have over 60 people. Also, the technical paper list of how many, senior engineers, juniors. We list pretty much how the team is divided by sections. Front end app developers, right? Because UI, UX. If you're gonna build a good product, you have to have the right team to do so, and everybody is a true expert. Watch out for a new edition that will make a lot of people happy. That's all I can say.
Now, you have an episode coming out tomorrow evening
Mm-hmm.
on Coffee with Manny. Yeah, no, you're going to be making some announcements there, so I know you can't make them here, but any hint as to what you'll be announcing?
Well, basically, tomorrow during the show, we always, every Saturday night, we try to keep people up to date with what's happening. And right now we have the Omni Celebrities NFT. So there are several assets, and the assets will play a part on the play to earn model later on the app once the app comes out. But more info to come about that. But the first one, what I told the team is like, I know that everybody's selling assets and all these kinds of things, right? But I want to give things away for our hodlers, right? The people who believed, like you, that believed in us, that have been following, that reserve the username, that has been learning the fundamentals as they come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the best way for us to do that is first to do a commemoration of the ultimate creator, which is at the center of everything that we do, which are the celebrities. So we are picking the top 100 celebrities, and we have Tyler Tutone, an artist, create a great piece of art by hand, right? And paint these celebrities. But these celebrities have true functionality inside the app, because it's not about having stickers. It's about having stickers that you own and you love, right? Because then you use them more. Either your stickers or your community stickers. There will be a lot of fun to be have around communities and channels and all this, because you can have community centric stickers, and then you guys can the artists, the community will be able to sell them in once the app is out. First, the company will come out with the first assets, right? So that when the app comes out, we have a base level of AR filters, stickers, and all the things that you need to create an engaging community, right? But instead of having, like in other places like Telegram, that get like a million stickers, right? You get
Mm-hmm.
lost on how many stickers and gifts, since you can get them for free so easy, right? But no, if you want the sticker, if you want to use it, you have to buy it. So we're releasing these NFTs every Saturday night. Last Saturday we came out with Jackie Chan, LeBron James, and Rihanna. And every Saturday, is a surprise of who is going to be, right? And we have even on Twitter a giveaway going on for people who can guess who will be the next three celebrities, and we give this away for free to Omni hodlers, right? That reserve the username. That's the requirement. You go to the website, and if you go to the coin portal, you'll see the button. It says, reserve username, and
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you all the requirements for all of that, and all that good stuff. So that's what we got going tomorrow. Then after we do the drop, I have been telling the community and whatnot that I'm gonna be. Last week I did a teaser of one of our AR filters, so I'm gonna be doing another quote unquote teaser of some of the other AR filters that are going to be incorporated into the app, and are going to be coming out. So watch out for that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So for those that haven't, you can reserve your name on there. And what's cool is there's some great names available. You might even be able to get just your first name, just your last name, or whatever your nickname is. So go now, right? And you have to hold some Omni tokens. That's okay. You can get them on Binance Smart Chain, and specifically you're looking for OMN. Not there's several Omnis. You're looking for the OMN token that says OMN dash people driven.
I
That's the
will
one.
tell you how it's better. If you jump in our Telegram, which you can find it from our website, you just
I'll go ahead and
put
put a link in that for
you
their
just put
Telegram.
exclamation point buy tokens, right? And it will give you step-by-step instructions. Also in the website, there's a FAQ, there's a support, there's a little chat. You can talk to support. They'll help you with whatever step of the process. It doesn't matter if you're reserving your username or checking the coin portal or doing due diligence. It's not 24/7 yet, but you can always leave the question if the guys are not online. You know how that goes. But we are eager, the guys in support are eager to help anybody that needs anything.
Yeah, I found them very helpful. I did reserve more than one username. You can only do that per wallet, but I wanted my wife. I was like, let me just see if Rachel is available.
And that's the
I
thing.
was able,
That's what
now
people,
it now it's not. Now it's not. It was.
when was the last time? For me, never. Even for me, for me, it was like I never got at money ever, anywhere. It doesn't matter how early I was, any place. It does not matter what account I was creating.
Yes.
And several people have been coming to me telling me that other people that have been looking those more exotic usernames that they think will be valuable in the future, right? So there's a lot of kind of FOMO going on around that, and that's great. Also, it goes on tiers. If you hold the more Omni coins you get, the more chances you get to get NFTs dropped to you. Like I said, these NFTs have functionality inside the app. Every NFT is a sticker. 15 of them will actually be super rare, so to speak, where they will have an AR filter attached to it. So when you come into the app and you have that NFT, then you will also have an AR filter that relates to the NFT of the celebrity that you got. And that's just the first release of several, because then we will have more following ones that will be more assets, if you will, inside the game, inside the app itself, which will allow people to earn more through the rewards engine.
I did go ahead and reserve at Crypto Rainn with one N because somebody beat me to that on Gmail, and also I was like, so if you try to get that, sorry, that's already gone, and I may have also reserved at Rainn, so that's gone. I'm like, let's just make it simple. You've done a lot on this. This is exciting to see where it's going. I feel like every so often I hear, wow, some additional thing that you're doing. I love the NFT drop for the people that are holding the tokens, right, and rewarding that for the people that have created accounts. So if you haven't checked it out, I mean, join Manny's YouTube channel and subscribe to it and follow what he's doing, because I love the energy from Omni and your energy, Manny. I'm sure the audience is getting a feel for it. What they're trying to accomplish is not an easy task, but this seems like to me the right team to have the best shot at it of everything I've seen.
Thanks, my man. And that's the deal. We have not, we didn't get here yesterday or because on a wave of a swing of a market. We started building this at the end of 2019. The pandemic played against and for, it plays against on the financial everywhere, but it allowed the team that we already had to focus on creating some of the initial proof of concept that were much needed to see how do you truly build a solution. It's not easy, I can tell you. Like, people say, well, but somebody else is doing, let them try. Because I know we've been no worries. You know what, we know what we're doing here. We know that we're doing everything the right way and with the right vision and the fundamentals as we we're building, right? Now, once we start unleashing the marketing, that honestly we have not done pretty much nothing. We're only on Pancake. We're only, once we get into other places and other, get that expansion, and once some of these news come out, then we'll be able to start unleashing the marketing, and the marketing will be around teaching people what we truly have. Because here's the deal: the market has not yet priced in the fundamentals. It's rare to find in a coin, because usually what people do is that they come out with a white paper, they promise you, I'm going to build this, and they raise a bunch of money, and after they raise the money, they go build. We did it differently. We started building first, right? And once we're pretty much getting ready to come out with a lot of stuff, then we came out just last month. And that was a big advantage because now trying to launch in the most fair possible way, and there's no way to do it in a way that you make everybody happy, unfortunately, in crypto. But we're trying to do things right every step of the way. And when you focus on that, once the market gets to priced in everything, it will be very fun, to see what happens.
Yeah, I love it. Appreciate you for joining us. I'll put a link too in the Telegram channel in case they want to follow the instructions there, or their admins are good help as well. If you have any trouble or you're trying to figure out more stuff, I did go figure out exactly how to reserve some names. I figured why not? So I bought, I have several extra wallets laying around, and so I bought 5,000 Omni tokens, sent them there, 5,000. That way also, too, I'd be eligible for more potential chances to get the NFTs. So wink, wink for those that are interested in that. But also to reserve the spots, right, and reserve the names. I mean, beautiful names like Rainn and Rachel, so...
No, I saw people reserving already Satoshi and Ethereum and all the,
that Satoshi one could be so valuable.
Bitcoin went off on day one, and it wasn't me. I was like, why I didn't think about that? Like, right. But you know how that goes. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's part of why we do this, We try to keep things in a fun way, engaged way, and to keep the community engaged while the app comes out. And then once the app comes out, it will be even more fun. But I cannot wait for that. But thank you so much, man. It's awesome for having me over, right? To chat and talk a little bit about all this, man.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Loved having you, and would love to have you on maybe in another month or so to give us an update. In the meantime, we'll stay tuned and see what announcements are made tomorrow night.
Yeah, it will be awesome. And, as we get closer, the big push will be as we get close to the beta, what is not, the wait will be worth it. That's all I'm going to say. And that's when the big push is going to come and a lot of things will happen. So thank you so much for having me over. It's been a true pleasure to be here with you and all your community members.
Awesome. I'm going to play a rap for everyone. This is our Rainmaker rap on the principles we teach about crypto investing that work. I know they work because this is what I used over the last 3 years to create life-changing wealth. It's amazing. I wouldn't have thought anything in this shorter period could do so well, but it only works when you follow the right principles. And that's what I had this rap written to reinforce.
Came into the space chasing all of the games, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, you buy before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was boring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I missed. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but when knowledge the gain show. Sticking at this wrong cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go of the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. This game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.